All right, everybody, we are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. I had to go ahead and get started, running a little bit behind schedule. I know at 1:39 you're not able to um, stream. If you're 9 minutes late from the scheduled stream, you're not able to stream on Facebook. So let me get Fitzgerald on here, you guys. Me and Fitzgerald, we're going to have a very dynamic show today. We have a lot lined up for you all. Couple of announcements. Number one, tours. We've got the tours coming up March 20th to the 26th. We will be in Nigeria. If you want to roll with us, let me know. Send me an email. Then August 13th through the 19th. Nigeria as well. We will be going for the Oshun Festival. We will be attending the Oshun Festival. So if you want to roll, let me know. Go to dynastymir.com, send me an email. And then December 4th through 12th, me and Blacksit, we have our Sierra Leone tour. So if you are interested in coming, please join us. We will greatly appreciate it. It will be a blessing. You know, it's an honor for you guys to invest in what we're doing. You know, when you put up your money, you know, that means a lot. That means a whole lot. Because yeah, we're live. I had to go ahead and go live. I was running late because if it's delayed 9 minutes, late on, I can't go live on Facebook. So we are live, sir. You look good.
Hey, likewise, you do too, man. Hey, I want the viewers to check out. Hold on one second. Okay, there. Yeah. I was trying to click over to another window.
Hold on one second, Israel. We got some. Hold on one second. Oh no, you're on two screens. That's why. Well, no. Hold on one second. Fitzgerald, you there? Fitzgerald, can you hear me? Okay, we're having some technical difficulties. Let's get Fitzgerald back on. Also, make sure you go on Amazon.com, search your name, Dynasty Mirror, buy a book. Again, go to Amazon.com, search your name, Dynasty Mirror, buy a book. Fitzgerald, you there?
Yeah, that fault was on my end. I had the windows open for StreamYard. There is this good afternoon, everybody. There is this website, Dynas, I want you to pull up. It's called goldprice.org.
What is it called?
Goldprice.org.
Okay, let me pull it up. All right, let me share the screen. All right, there we go.
Yeah, man. Now, if you can pull now simultaneously open up another window and pull up the debt calculator, which I see you use at times.
The debt calculator?
Yeah, it shows the price of the national debt. You know, the one with all the zeros, like, you know, going crazy. You know how how that's being added.
Okay, hold on one second. All right. Hold on one second, Fitzgerald. Let me.
Okay, and while you're doing that, now with the gold price, you can see currently the price of gold right now. Like if I'm reading your screen, about $1,572.88.
Right.
Okay, you could. There's also like a little window that you could click, and you can see it like price per kilo. You remember I used to talk about kilos, like remember I said the $600, and and that car is like $40,000. It would buy that car.
Right.
A kilo of gold now, man, is $50,000. $50,000 per kilo. What one thing, man, that you know, we have this little thing that's I don't know what the name of this virus is, but it's really people
Coronavirus.
Yeah, okay, such a big deal about it, and rightfully so. I mean, it's killing people, so that is a very big deal. But the loss of life is happening. But you know what, man, I'm seeing something that I probably haven't seen since the 2008 financial crash. Okay, follow me. That was when Lehman Brothers went out of business, and that was with the mortgage bank debacle, and you know, the stock market was convulsing. It was going really because of those. It was going really bad and dropping because of these losses that these banks had with, you know, with this monopoly money, you know, that they would call fiat currency. They was using to pump it up, that the Federal Reserve was pumping into the system to help prop the banks up, banking economic system from falling. Incidentally, people never did recover. That was just a thing that they pushed down the wall. So that debt is still owed, compounding on the interest. But man, you know, check this out, Mr. Mayor. The stock market, man. You know, we're looking at what the stock market is doing. The Nikkei Dow, you know, is doing. The Toronto Stock Exchange. This virus is having a global effects upon the world's financial system, man. You know,
$5 trillion have been wiped out.
Okay, thank you for saying that. $5 trillion have been wiped out. Okay, $5 trillion. Now we know that the U.S. is somewhere along the line of 21 to 23 trillion dollars.
Let me share the screen again. I could share the actual debt calculator. I just had it up. Here we go. There we go.
Okay, now what's the significance of this? You know what? Anybody who doesn't, if you don't have a Carrot Bar account that deals with gold right now, you are grossly missing the boat, man. Dynass, you and I are waking up wealthier every single day because just for the accumulation of gold alone.
Right.
Okay. Now in your portfolio that you when you go onto Carrot Bars, you log on. You're going to have a tab up there, and you're going to click on. It's going to say My Gold. And you know, and you remember, you can store like 100 grams of gold in your Carrot Bars account for free. Okay, and man, I have to look at mine this morning because, you know, I got paid and I got free gold today.
I got free gold today.
Right, it's payday today in the world of Carrot Bars. So the gold free, didn't cost me anything, and that's one of the cool things about Carrot Bars. You know, you start qualify for certain spheres and levels, you know, you actually get free gold. So nothing beats free. But I'm looking at my portfolio and I'm like, man, oh gosh, this thing is going up.
Right.
And you know, and I'm one of those type of people in reference with how I do my gold saving. I just park it. I really don't look at it much. And you know, Dynass, I told you, man, that I'm going on the Carrot Bar site 6 times a day and everything like that. But I'm looking at literally, you know, I totally had to do you know, really. But I'm going on there looking at my team growth. I'm going on there looking like, you know, the number of people who are coming into my team daily, because I'm following those numbers too. Man, I just happen, but rarely do I actually get on there and look at what my gold is increasing. So I just happen to click on there, you know, with the amount of gold I have. That's just in my account. That don't count about what I have, you know, in my physical hands, man. And you know what? It occurred to me that, like, wow, that, you know, I am really, my wealth is really increasing simply because I'm holding gold and acquiring gold, you know, and man, where a lot of people in the world over, and rightfully so, you ought to be concerned. If you have those 401ks and mutual funds and the annuities and any of the other CDs and any of the other various instruments, the financial instruments out there that they're talking about, even stocks, because those are all tied to the stock market. And we're looking at the stock market doing this. It started off a couple of months doing this, then all of a sudden it went down, and it's practically near going down to the going down to unprecedented levels. $5 trillion of wealth. Oh, that's just in the United States.
Right.
That's just in the United States. And they don't know where this thing is really originated from. They're talking about China, which we saw what the Chinese import bans and the tariffs rather was doing to the United States economy. What happens, man, when they start? Oh, now, man, we can't import your food products in. We can't import your grain products because we're so concerned about this virus. I'm looking at. I've seen something where over in Italy that they're having a crisis over there. It hasn't quite taken root in Africa. Africa's a big continent, that's haven't taken probably root over there, nor taken place over in North America, but they have some cases over there. Your home state of California, over there in San Francisco, man.
Right, there's one, yeah.
Really need to be monitored. So what is this meaning? Okay, well, where you and I, Dynas, where you and I have realized gains. Okay,
right.
Our staying because of the instrument we're parked in right now. On the other hand, there's other people who have realized tremendous losses. Man, with drops like that, man, depending on what you got, some people have lost about $50,000 in a couple of days out of their 401ks. Or if you and maybe even more than that, not maybe even more than that, depending on where how much you're holding. What about those people who are holding like 3 million, 5 million in a 401k, and you have drops like this?
All right.
And you get up around 50s, like in your mid 50s, like myself and stuff like that. How are you going to make up for that time value, that money you just lost?
Real quick, let me ask you a question. 2008, I know we were both much younger, but I'm wondering those people who were in their about set for retirement, how when everything crashed in 08, how that affected their 401ks.
Okay, let me tell you, because you talking to one. You talking to one when it happened in there. We took such a drop in our 401k that we did not recover. And I say we, I was talking about my wife Denise and I. We took such a drop that we never recovered. Incidentally, the house foreclosed. Oh, by the way, I had a fixed rate, a 6% fixed rate. On a house of like $171,000 in Madonna, Georgia. I could pay for it out of my salary, But what happened was when that market crashed out, that people stopped buying. People went in conservative mode. People stopped spending, and the whole economy of the United States is based on spending, not saving. Spending. Debt. That's why you got the iPhone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 now. That's why you got the Galaxy thing. That's why you got the new sneakers things. That's why the new Jordan things. It's dependent upon someone buying stuff, not necessarily saving. So when you get in a point where people feel that there's going to be a scarcity, what they start doing, they start hoarding money. And when they hoard, money is not going in circulation. Circulation is not being the flow is stopping rather. And then compounded with the banks not lending money. Okay, so if they're not lending money, it's tougher for you to get that home equity loan, to extract some of your wealth out. As a matter of fact, your home value back then was dropping, as well as the which was destroying your wealth bars to that, because the majority of people have their finances, their wealth in their real estate, particularly their personal dwelling. So they was really stringent upon giving the home equity loans. What people use to pay debit card debts off and all that kind of stuff. And some people smart enough to do a business, but they really put the strain on that. Plus they did some teaking with the interest rate. It was the perfect storm. So you asked what happened? A lot of us didn't have yet to recover. When I talked to you and I said, man, okay, when I joined this thing and when I joined this Carrot Bar business, I got a call back in 2015 for my sponsor, Michael Delco. I lost the home in 2011. Okay. And then 2015, I heard about carrot bars. I never have got my home back yet. All that stuff is gone. That home should have been easily on the way to being paid off right now, because with my chosen profession, when I shortly after I bought my business, okay, and then when I bought my business, there was absolutely a deadlock on people loaning money, getting business lines of credit, and people wasn't spending. That's one thing that really led to a very, very disruption of my business. Okay, and so I know what that do with the 401ks. Oh man, that was just evaporating because the value was dropping. So we lost a tremendous amount of value far as with that, and history's repeating themselves. I have said, man, for what I'm observing right now. For what I'm looking at trends. Okay, we'll go back to the Great Depression. Okay, and that was a devastation upon the society. Not a lot of minorities, because we were locked out the system anyway. So it didn't really affect us much. Let's fast forward back into the Nixon administration when they took the American dollar off the gold standard back in about 72. That's when you saw the rapid rise of inflation, because the gold was no longer backing the dollar. In other words, the dollar was just worthless. It was just backed by thin air. Only thing is, we didn't know it was worthless yet. So it still had more purchasing power back then than it do now, because the inflation quadrant had caught up yet. Okay, let me take you to 1980. President William Jefferson Clinton comes in office. All of a sudden, there's a boom. I mean, major robust economy, good times. It was almost like the Roaring '20s, if you want to look at it through a historical point. Then he did 2 terms, and he actually left a surplus. Then after that, President George Herbert Walker Bush, the first, was elected. Okay, and then when he started elected, we went into another recession caused by the savings and loan debacle. Remember that, Dinesh? You was probably a kid, man. You probably like 7 years old, but I remember it. It was so they was bailing the savings and loan industry. A lot of them, the FDC was literally coming over and taking control of those banks. But that money had to be absorbed by the economy, which means the taxpayers. Okay, so once again, people's losing homes, businesses, and everything like that, because it was a major debacle. Okay, then you fast forward a little bit. I'm sorry. President Bush was, I believe he came before President Clinton. Then after President Clinton was out of office, President Bush II took over.
Right.
President Bush II, under his watch, was that 2008 implosion. That was when, in turn, like the major banking institutions, had all these toxic mortgages. Also, back around in the time when
Fitzgerald, there was a question in the chat room regarding that. Was your mortgage a subprime mortgage? That's the question.
No, I had a 6% fixed rate. I wasn't crazy enough to get into any of those exotic loans, because I like stability, especially when it comes to my money. I like to have a stability. And my mortgage, $1,310.69. I could easily pay out of my own paycheck. I didn't need my wife's income for that. I put it down to everything where I can handle all those household expenses. Mm-hmm. With stuff left over, because things were good. So shortly thereafter, we get back to the track. the financial markets imploded, man, they talk about, well, the whole system is going to go broke. Actually, it did go broke. Had they would have propped money into it, it would have easily it would have made the Great Depression look like a party. I mean, the country still broke. They never recovered from that, so they just kept pushing it through. Then comes President Obama. President Obama, inherited a mess, and rightfully so. But there really a lot of those problems wasn't addressed. What did those guys do? They just absorbed, the government absorbed all that money. You may remember they gave a loan they gave a loan to General Motors. General Motors paid it back. They bailed out a lot of these these giant corporation banks. I don't think more than 5 went to jail. They all should have been in jail. The ones that caused the thing. So President Obama makes a move that I didn't agree with. He goes ahead and give those guys, the bankers, he starts bailing them out and giving bailout money to them. What's the thing they do with it, Dynass? They paid $1 million bonuses that they said. Right. That's what they did. That's what they did. So they caused all that crashing, and most of what caused that crash was through the housing industry. Okay, all right. Now that was 2000. That was 2008. Now we're up into 2020, and you can say, well, Fitzgerald, nobody knows what the virus, would have came out, and nobody really knows. Really. I could show you a little organization called the CDC right in DeKalb County, Georgia, not too far from the friend right up there, that they study manufacturing, look at those things all day. It's often funny that it came out this time. But am I saying it was planned? No. Am I saying it's not planned? No. I don't know. All I know just off of the Z's, all the way on another continent, the Asiatic continent, it's causing us over here in the United States wiping out $5 trillion in value. You're going to see a tightening of loans going on right now. Right. You're going to see, if this thing is affecting commerce like this, once again, people ain't going to be buying and selling. You're going to see businesses start going belly up because of people not buying. So anything can affect this Ponzi scheme called a stock market. Someone sneeze, the world catches cold. The world is all one big giant interconnected economic loop. But those of us who are in carrot bars, and I can't emphasize it, we are in the right place with the right product at the right time. Gold is money. You know what, Diane said, you look upon that, you and our money went up. The virus didn't affect us. The virus didn't affect us whatsoever. I mean, we got wealthier. Right. It simply because we're holding on to gold. Holding on to gold. That's what I've been saying to the audience with such passion. Listen. For y'all who don't understand this, you don't understand this. I mean, it's not some little networking project. It's not like your regular to meal networking project. It's not. It's a carrot bars is a different type of animal. Carrot bars business is gold. The number one thing that people are using to hire, the acquiring right now to ensure their wealth. Gold is money. Gold is money insurance. If you just go ahead and open you up a free account and just start paying yourself in gold first and collecting that's automatically increasing your household wealth. Incidentally, by also registered on Prince Amir's link there
in the chat room on the screen and in the description. Right.
It also gives you the benefit of having a home-based business, that you can use to write off taxes, that you can use to minimize your tax burden. So your gold is going up, your taxes is going down. But in the meantime, your purchasing power of your dollar of your money is going down. You've got to have something to stay that off. Okay, we also have a component that if we decide that we want to duplicate our times and our efforts, we can get paid off the efforts of others. But you know what? There is no goods and services sold here. There is no lotions, potions, and there is no thing. It is a powerhouse business that could not came at a better time than what's happening right now. Who could have foreseen this, Dynas? You know, when the company started in 2011, not let someone has a crystal ball in Germany, who could have foreseen what's going on? And that's what I talked about your audience about. Well, you know, the economy is like, it's subject to so many things. I haven't even talked about the jobs situation is going to get ready to happen. That this is a little underlying thing that's going to get ready to occur. Because if companies aren't selling much, if people are not buying much, guess what? We can't pay all y'all if people ain't acquiring our services.
Right.
You're going to either lose your job, start taking unpaid comp time, start working longer hours or less. Raises are going to get frozen. I mean, this is happening. And Dynas, I'm seeing the cycle, man. That I'm a student of history. I'm seeing the cycle that it looks like every other 2 decades or close to 20 years, these should start coming.
Start shifting, yeah.
You know, they start coming. It's almost like they're playing. You know, they come like in clockwork, like
how do you think the wealthy stay wealthy?
Yeah.
You build it up, it crashes, you buy everything for $10 here.
Excuse me, but please continue.
Yeah, I mean, you acquire assets, or we'll do with real estate. You buy real estate when it's cheap, the value goes up.
Right.
A lot of people cash out or sell it as it goes up. It crashes, you buy it for a penny to dollar.
Right. So there was a customer on the last stream that you and I got together. I forget his name, but he brought up a very good point. You know, I was saying some of those the things I'm saying right now, but he said, "Yeah, Fitzgerald, you can make money on the down cycle too. It starts going down." Yeah, he's right, and that's exactly what you're saying. But sir, most people aren't astute enough to be investors. They're not. They're workers, and they put their stuff in safe investments, savings. You know, trying to save dollars in a bank that sometimes they pay like close to negative interest. No, so it's not wise to save in cash. Certificates of deposits, 401ks, Roths, and all those instruments that are tied to the stock market. So you can be a savvy investor and make money on that stock when it's going down, as well as going up, provided you have the financial intelligence in order to do that. The average person don't. Carrot Bars is a company that attracts both the savvy investor and the novice investor. But nevertheless, what it caters to is mostly the people, who like, hey, you know what? I'm just trying to grow my wealth. I'm trying to grow my wealth in a way that makes sure it's solid. God, man, I wished I would have had something like this back in 2008. Dude, I would have been done just collecting the gold because I was making the money back then. I could have easily threw it into that, but that's here and there, But so this is what we're seeing, man, and so. I'm a little bit passionate about this. Don't mistake what I'm saying now. Don't mistake like I'm like, woo, great. The economies really get racked up. People are losing their lives, and this is a great time. I'm not doing that. I mean, the economy affects me too. People, a loss of life is loss of life. I don't wish anyone to lose life through whatever means. I'm very pro-life, but I have to protect my household interests because the government, they have proven the world over, they don't know what the heck to do with the people's money. They have proven that they don't know what to do with the people's money, and why is it the people's money, Fitzgerald? Because it's extracted in taxes. I mean, I look at my paychecks. I ain't taking all those taxes out. I got taxes coming out for things I don't even know about. Right. And then on top of that, if I go down and get ready to go down to Publix, and buy some groceries, or if I go put gas in my car, I got to pay gas tax. I got to pay taxes on my groceries. I got to pay sales tax. Right. I got to pay all these. I got to pay income tax on my labor, property tax. So when does it stop? When is some way that you're going to have to like, okay, well, I got to find something that outpaces this inflation gain. I got to get my money in the assets that's going to increase my wealth, as opposed to something that like cash or jobs that's really going to decrease my wealth. Yeah, you heard me right. A job will decrease your wealth. Number one.
Fitzgerald, so the topic of the show is they're saying that you're going to have to work longer hours just to stay middle class.
Dynas,
it's been like that though. It's been like
there is no middle class.
Okay.
You know, I said this years ago. I was talking to an individual years ago, man. You know, when my wife and I was together back during that time, I said, you know what? I said, baby, it's going to come a time where the middle class is going to disappear. You're either going to be rich or you're going to be poor. That time is now. You're either going to be rich or you're going to be poor. That time is now. Now, for those who don't know it yet like that, keep living. Try to send your children to a 4-year school. I'll pick one for you. Morehouse or Spelman. Okay.
Hold that thought, Fitzgerald. Hold that thought. Keep going. I want to look.
Okay.
But keep going.
Try to send them to a 4-year school. Pay for the education. I heard along the line it takes something like close to $300,000 to raise a child. I don't know. I don't have children yet, but you know, my brothers do. I don't know, but I know it's awfully dang expensive when you factor in educating them, child care, food expenses and things like that. Do you know, as a right the heck now, you cannot afford a apartment anywhere in this nation off a minimum wage? Now, I'll give it. Let's say.
Let me stop you right there. We were talking about the glory days of Atlanta back in like 2006, 2007. You can get a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment in Atlanta, not Riverdale, not Jonesboro, not the outskirts, but in Atlanta for like $700. A decent, a nice one. Those days are over.
What was that? What was that year?
Like 2006, 2007.
Okay.
Yeah.
I moved to Atlanta. I moved to Atlanta about 1998. It was the same year that Princess Diana was killed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so man, and I lived down in East Point because you know where my income was. You know, I was just starting out and everything like that, just trying to get my feet wet. And I remember, you know, I had a 2-bedroom townhouse in East Point. You know, 10 miles outside of Atlanta. Dynas. I was paying somewhere along the line of $560 for that. You know, the thing you know, it had upstairs down. It was a townhouse, and so man, they slid my next rent renewal up under there, and it said like $570. I'm like,
exploded.
Oh, no, y'all don't want to. I'm serious. I'm serious, man. And I'm like, oh, man, hell to the no. Y'all cats don't win up $10, man. I can't be doing that. Yeah, I gotta shop you. Shop you. And I don't like to move, so you know, I went in there and I wound up writing a check for $570. And that was good so you could get by. Oh, by the way, Dynas, I was at Bavarian Body Works. You know, the company that was the company that owned the company before you and I met. That's the man. And I was making, like, you know, when I first started out, man, I was making somewhere along the line $14 an hour. But yet I was affording that apartment, buying food. I was single then. Buying food, putting gas in the car, getting haircuts, living off of $14 an hour. I'm in a 2-bedroom townhouse by myself, and I could do it for $14 an hour.
Fitzgerald, back in 2006 in Atlanta, if you could make $1,500 a month, you could do decent. Like you could live an all right lifestyle. $1,500 a month.
Yeah. I mean, in 1996, Dynas, I moved there shortly after the Olympics. Mm-hmm. You know, so we see, but things are going down, and the economy is really, really booming. And it was like that whole little nation. Atlanta's a huge mecca. First of all, Atlanta, Georgia is the economic engine of the South. Period. Not Tampa, Florida, where I live down here. It's just like the economic engine of the South. What makes it the economic engine of the South, Fitzgerald? Hartsfield Jackson Airport.
Right.
Okay, the business airport in the world. That's what does it. And it was booming all over other places too. Chicago was booming, Cincinnati was booming, New York was booming. People who had money, man, they was throwing in real estate and getting that property, man, and they are multi millionaires because of right now. Now we fast forward now, $500 in East Point, man. I probably wouldn't be able to sleep on top of the roof.
No.
With a sleeping bag.
Right.
You dang sure can't pull it down here in Tampa, Florida. The average apartment around down here, man, if you want to live in a decent area, which I'm very addicted to, I almost could pay as much for that apartment that I paid for my mortgage. Remember, I told you guys I paid $1,310.69 for my mortgage. That would be what I would pay for a 2-bedroom apartment down here without utilities.
Right.
I mean, and so you wonder why I do carrot bars in addition to what I'm doing right now. I do carrot bars out of survival. It's a necessity, man. It's a need because you know what? The way the business is going right now and the way the economy is going right now, you better have a side income. You better have something that's outpacing inflation. You better have something that you can control and you can go ahead and determine how much you make with building up residual income. That's why I do it. Because it gives me that leg up. I was talking to a gentleman and he was saying, well, we was talking about various jobs and he gave me a figure as far as with this job. And I said, okay, well, okay, that's cool. He said, yeah, well, my receptionist, she's old enough to be my mom and about 67 years old. She's working as my assistant. And I looked at him. I said, I don't want to be working at 67 years old.
Right.
I said, I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to be in that position. And I'm not going to be in that position. And I don't want any of the listeners in that position. Create you a side income. Create you an income that has no geographical parameters. Create your income that the product what everybody knows and it's a value, an extreme value to everyone. The IE goal. Create you. Make sure it has a duplication quadrant so that you can share that you can grow your wealth by helping other people grow their wealth. Make sure it has a generational quadrant, meaning that you can actually leave this, your business to your offspring. Okay. Right. Now we get a whole bunch of questions sometimes that's saying like, hey, you know what? If you're doing a referral based marketing, you're doing this or whatever could happen, and yay. Right. Don't think it as a referral based business. Think of it as creating a giant income that you're able to put in other wealth instruments. Carrot bars ain't going to be my only hustle, man. I'm going to throw this into real estate. Probably commercial real estate. Even residential real estate. Probably I'm looking at laundromats. Well, why you saying laundromat? Because when I was in college, we had to have it. You look around, you look around, and people got to wash clothes. You got it. So it's always a good steady stream of income. I probably have some type of retail mix in my portfolio. I'm going to have other in streams of income coming in, but I'm going to use the money that I'm getting for carrot bars to diversify out of that. Right. My business is the road to wealth. And I'm going to put all these type of entities. I'll have all these different types of entities. Maybe even start investing in some stocks, technology stocks, and some things that I'm familiar with, and I see I got a good rate of return from. But before I do any of that, Dynas, I got to have an income coming in.
Right.
I got to have an income coming in. And so that's what we do. Go ahead, register online, get your account set up. When you get your account set up, and it is free to join, free. Now, for even those you guys, for those listeners who have something going on, I applaud you. Great, you're the people who I love talking to. Okay, for those of you who don't have anything going on, but you want something going on, great, you're the people I'm talking to. So let's just say those who are having you're already a business, an owner, or you still need another additional income. You can never have enough streams of income coming to your house. Never. Okay. And so why not create an additional income already to the streams you're going in right now? If you're just a regular working employee, why not create additional stream income? Why not take advantage of this? Which your product is gold. You're paying yourself first in gold. Now, what do I mean? You're not buying gold. I don't ever use that term, buying gold. You're simply taking a portion of your money, and you're exchanging it into gold, however much you choose, whenever you choose. But simply by using your Carrot Bar account or you do like myself, I have a business account, along with Carrot Bars. I'm a VIP in my personal account, and my VIP in my business account. So what does that mean? That means like if I choose to buy gold or something, I go ahead and buy it sometimes through my business account, and I still get financial benefit through my personal account. I may make a buy with that after I get off the stream today. But I also went to work and I started talking to other people about this, and Dynas included, and he's talking to other people. So we duplicate our efforts, and we get paid by helping other people succeed. Just so happened it's payday today, and so Dynas and I got paid both in euros and gold today. I just finished paying my vehicle payment again with my Carrot Bars MasterCard. I didn't have to go out and work. A lot of this money is still coming. I'm going to get paid next week. He's going to get paid next week, simply because we created a team. He can lead this to his son. I can lead this to family members or whoever I want to do by something we build up. And I'm going on something like close to 11,000 affiliates, doing this all in 146 countries, and just they're not doing it for me and my family. They're doing it for them and their family. But nevertheless, it's creating up a great residual income. Far as for me, we got people already free in that. My sponsor, Michael Delco, he replaced a 6-figure income in a mortgage banking job in the Southeast in 103 days. That was 6 years ago. That's the guy that called me. We've been knowing each other for 22 years, and he just said, "Hey, Fitzgerald, I got a business. It deals with gold and it's free to join." Okay, Michael, sign me up. It's that simple. And I went to work, and so it's just an opportunity for us. But hey, don't believe me. With people saying, "Okay, don't believe me." I'm sitting on here giving everything I got coming on the stream. Just switch on CNN. Switch on CBS Market Watch, CBSMarketWatch.com. Look at the FinancialTimes.com. Go on to Bloomberg.com. Man, that market is convulsing. Oh, Dynas, I don't see it correcting anytime soon. How they're going to make up for this money? Oh, it's not only affecting the United States. This is a global financial famine. Right. So gold is not going up only here. It's going up all over the world. And those of us at Carrot Bar affiliates, our business is gold. You mean to tell me we just divert some of our savings, some of our income out, putting it in gold, protecting our wealth, and it's reassuring as wealth? It's phenomenal if you think about it. And I do this so much, and I never get tired of it. But you know what? This is the game. That's a gram of gold. You could go and look on see what a gram of gold is, and I have ounces, and so, but the cool thing about it, and I say this often, this is in my hands, Dynas. Right. This is more valuable when I first purchased. I got this years ago, and it's still growing up in value, and it's going to continue going up in value because gold is money, man. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen? You register your account. Dynas Amir has a link right there. You register.
That room on the screen will also be in the description.
It takes about 7 minutes, literally 7 minutes. Okay, and then you're going to get an email from Carrot Bars once you're successfully registered. You're going to get a call from Dynas Amir, and then he is going to give you over to me, Fitzgerald Stephens. My phone number is 1716 573 6296. So what is my purchase? What is my purpose? Dynas and I we're partners together. So I help him and his partners make money, and that's how I make my money. Simple as that. So my goal is to train you what talk to you about this business. Show you how to properly set your accounts up. And you want to do a business account like me, I can show you how to do that. I can show you how to acquire the business packages, which the optional tax deductible business package. You don't need a business package, but you need a business package. I can get into that, and I get into that later. And then I'm going to show you how to. I'm going to plug you into the Wealth Builder system. We have a training system that's done. Everything's done online. And we have events going on all over the U.S., all over the world, with various people getting into the Wealth Builder system, which was created by Ty and Valerie Best, that will show you how to build a gargantuan team as well as a gargantuan income. All you have to do is be 18 or over to join. We operate in 146 countries. We get paid our commissions on the Carrot Bars MasterCard. Okay, that's what we do. This is how I paid my car payment this morning. And it's pretty dang substantial, and so this is how I buy food, pay car insurance. This is how, I live. Right. Okay. And so I'm creating an income that I don't have to necessarily go out there to work to do. Yeah, I got a job, but also have this going on right there too. And it's nice to have that extra stream of income. Pretty soon, this income is going to replace what I won't even need to work for anyone. So that's the thing that I'm moving towards. And so this is why we're talking about it. That looks nice, Dynas. So this is why we're talking about. We couldn't have picked it. This is almost like Dynas. This is almost like an emergency broadcast. Right. Because you know what? That virus right there, and no one's coughing and sneezing down here in Tampa. I know. The weather's still good. Palm trees are still flowing. The sun is still shining. But, and the economy is going great. But, I can't ignore what I heard over in San Francisco. I can't ignore what I'm hearing in China. I can't ignore what will soon keep going on with these other nations, because the world is one connected economy. It is driven by the facilitation of trade. So if your largest partner, the trading partner, one of your largest trading partner, China, decides that you can't get any of their stuff, guess what's going to happen? And then here's another thing we're not talking about, Dynas. China owns a lot of U.S. debt. Oh yeah. They've loaned us a lot of money. What did those cats? What did the one of the presidents over there say? You know what? We kind of drying up with our economy. We need to call. Y'all need to pay us.
Yeah. Okay, for sure. How does that look like? Can that happen? And how does that look like?
Of course it can happen.
Honestly, I foresee that not happening.
Of course it can happen. But it's not like okay, Dynas, you owe me I owe you $1 million. Okay, here you go. But what they can't start forcing. It can lead to a downgradation of your credit rating. Okay. Countries have credit too. Right. Countries have credit just like individual people. So it can lead to a further devaluation of your currency. Let me explain. You got this reputation out. All of a sudden, you don't pay your debts. Right. So is other countries gonna really get to start dealing with you because they want to get paid too. So it's going to affect your economy. And so people say, hey man, you know what? I'm calling in my stuff. Okay, what you got to back? All right, well, I need assets. And it's a big deal, Dynas. Okay. It's a very, very big deal. Wars mostly if you look at the history of wars, like I said, I'm a historian and I study history. I look for patterns. And if you look at history, it's going to tell you pretty much the patterns you want to know. And past history can be a very big predictor of the future. Not a solid predictor, but a very, very good predictor of the future. When I look at wars, and I studied it, looking at the history of war, I see the number one thing why people wanted to invade other countries was because they wanted assets.
Right.
The number one thing they wanted an asset was gold. Okay, because gold is money. Sure, it degenerated down into slavery. They were getting slaves and everything, and the only way a people was really, really basically enslaved because those cats didn't have the proper defenses to fight the defender off. That's why I believe in a strong defense. I believe in a strong home defense. I believe in a strong nation defense. Because what's to prevent someone from coming in and taking your stuff and you can't beat them off and you can't defend them off and you can't back them off economically or physically? You're a slave, and so that's what I'm seeing with the history of war. And as they start amassing this resources, then they go in a country, i.e., like the African continent, and which is the breadbasket of the world, just incredibly rich and abundant. North America has that too, but not like Africa. No one has it like Africa.
Right.
So you get in there, you conquer these people. Now you go in there, you take their cobalt, you take their gold, you take their coffee, you take their tin, you take their palladium, you take their diamonds. You put all these stupid rules in to make sure you stay in power. Why? Because those guys can't defend themselves. Because you got a military, you enforcing your rights on them out for the barrel of a gun. Then you go in there, you throw your religious system in, and then you make them feel like that they're going against God and they don't submit to you.
Right.
I mean, this is history.
Right.
My father taught me years ago, and a lesson I'm going to tell you guys, say to you guys right here. He said, Fitzgerald, you tell me, what does the Holy Bible and the M16 have in common?
Go ahead.
That's what my dad told me. So what does the Holy Bible and the M16 have in common? Now I'm not bashing any faith. I hear to the God Yahweh. For those of you who will say, well, Christianity is white man religion and stuff. I can say the same thing about Islam. But we ain't going to get talking about religious things on this channel. My channel is not a religious channel. My channel is an economic channel. I am trying to get wealth in your hands. So all the other debates about that doesn't pertain to that, I'm not interested in hearing what you have to say. Okay, I'm trying to get you wealthy. I'm trying to get your household wealthy, and I'm trying to get generation wealthy. I'm trying to do what they did back in 1921 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, build thriving communities. Where people can be self-efficient. That's what I'm trying to do. And so Dynas, I'm seeing a storm right here, man. But now all the doom and gloom talk is over, man. I'm seeing one of the greatest opportunities in history with this carrot bar type situation now. I really do, because you know what? People are going to be drawn to that. Like, wait a minute, I got to get out of Nigerian naira. I got to get out of South Africa rand. I got to get out of Japanese yen. I even got to get out the dollar and the euro.
All right.
I got to get my money in something solid, because I can't keep my money in banks. What's going to happen if they don't give my money, and my money is going to still keep going down and price of goods and services? I got to find something that outplays inflation. Only thing I know is those with gold. But those of you say, well, how we're going to spend it? Glad you asked. Carrot Bars has their own ecosystem called a Carrot Pay, that you can actually use small increments of gold to pay for goods and services. Mm-hmm. We have our own blockchain, our own exchange called a Carrot Bit. That we're also in the cryptocurrency, which is gonna start even going up more so now, because cryptocurrency will replace cash. Ours is gold back. We operate in 146 nations. It's free to join. We have a duplication factor. We have a generational factor, which you can leave your wealth to. We have no minimums, no maximums to purchase. You don't have to build a team. You can just come in and acquire gold. And gold back cryptocurrency and greatly increase your wealth. Dynas and I, we do all of it. We acquire the gold. We acquire the cryptocurrency. We duplicate our efforts by helping other people set up in our business. We take the tax breaks. We're doing the whole gambling. And so I'm finished like that, man. And so I just happened to look at that site, the goldprice.org, before I called in like you, and I'm like, man, but that's really not the big thing to happen. The big thing to happen, I said, well, Dynas, man, help me not to keep going on my Carrot Bar site. Dynas, I must admit, I went on another time or two after I hung up with you, but I looked at my gold. Because I got paid in gold today too, as well as you did. Mm-hmm. And I looked at the value of it. I'm like, what? Now what? Now I'm one of those. Now I'm one of those cats like that I operate like say like you know, I get my paycheck, and let's just say I spend it, and I have this amount that I do. I operate from that realm.
Right.
So I check my account. And you know, I had some money in there, not much. I'm not going to say what it was, but I had a sum in there. As far as I'm concerned, that's all I have to next week or my next paycheck. But I have thousands of dollars in gold. I have tens of thousands of dollars in, you know, in other in cryptocurrencies. Mm-hmm. I'm far from broke, but in my mind, I act like I do. Sometimes I don't even look at a lot of my holdings and stuff. Well, before you criticize me, I just park it. So when I do this thing, like I get my money, I set it and forget it because I know it's going in gold. I know it's safe. But what does that do? That like, man, you know what? I'm tired of looking at this 2015 RAV4 I got out there, although it's fine. I got to go out there, man. I got to get I got to go ahead and get that 2020 Toyota TRO racing truck. I can get it. Man, I'm tired of looking at this crazy. I'm tired of looking at this Note 7 that I got 2 more payments before I pay it off. Man, I got to go get the iPhone 11. Otherwise, I got to buy $1,000 phone. Why you need it, Fitzgerald? I just got to have it, dog. You know, it's the best looking thing. You know, I'm getting tired of wearing these old shoes that I got. That's fine to keep the water and the wind off my feet and do fine. Man, I got to go down there and get me the new Adidas. I don't think like that. Because, you know, one thing I can say, and some of you ladies and gentlemen have went through this. When you take a horrific financial loss like I did, you really learn the value of money. And you know, it's like, God, if you get me out of this, I'm not going to spend, you know, like I did. Dynas, back in that time, man, when I had my business, dude, it was nothing for me to go to the cigar shop and drop $100 for cigars. Stupid stuff. I'm sitting up there. It's literally going up in smoke. It was nothing for me to go. I wasn't going to Miami Beach or the Fontainebleau. I wasn't that. But I was very, I spent a lot of money unnecessarily that I wished I had. Impulse shopping. Going down there, just dumb stuff that I wished I would have had that money. Now I'm that cat. I can live off of $40,000. I can live. I got my lifestyle switched to that. You know, even with all the wealth that I'm accumulating in the carrot bars right now, I still think like, you know, I got to increase my holdings, not that I have to spend. So what I have on that credit card, let me say if I'll give myself a budget. Let's say I give myself a budget of like $200 to my next pay period. That's gas, that's food, you know, that's haircuts. That's if I want to go to Cracker Barrel or go out to eat or something like that, or you know, nice, you know, to get Wendy's chili, which I love. Once that $200 open, I ain't about to go take this and go down to the gold exchange and say, hey, go ahead and give me the value of that. I don't do that because I'm not going to eat my wealth for the generations. I'm going to save that. I just simply wait until the other one comes. Or I get on the phone and I work my carrot bar business and I increase my wealth by helping someone else come in. If I sponsor something like a VIP person like myself, which I will do and I have done, I sponsor something like a VIP person like myself. The way I'm positioned, that's worth about 320 euros to me.
Right.
Just like that. Oh, working from my home. If someone decides to acquire gold, I've already got paid as far as my carrot bar business. I probably not got paid since while I'm talking to you guys now. You know, and so forget about me. Forget about Dynas. It ain't about us. It's never been about us. It's about you. What you can do to get you a chip in the game so you and your family can start winning financially, where you can have your time and live the thing like you want to do. Take action. You know, just go ahead and take action. What do you got to lose? Everything. This market keeps falling out like this, people will lose big time. people will lose big time. And on a final note, Dynas, I was when I lived in Atlanta, man. We used to do ministry, and I would, I have a heart for people, and so a team of us would and including my wife and I, we would go to feed the homeless. Whether you know it or not, Atlanta, Georgia gets very cold, very cold. It's not like a snow and ice like Milwaukee,
but it gets cold,
or Chicago or New York, but it's a biting, bitter cold. So so we would go. What we would do, besides feeding the homeless, the thing that set out to me most, we would literally go bring blankets to the homeless. And you know where we would go, Dynas? I-75, I-85 overpass downtown. We would go up under those bridges.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah,
there's whole cities.
They're still there. They're still there.
They're still there.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
I'm gonna tell you where they're at primarily now, because they closed down the shelter off of Peachtree, so now they're at the airport.
That's College Park.
I know.
There's nothing out there to put in College Park.
They're in the airport. They sleep in the airport at night.
Okay. Now it clicks. But when we went there, Dynas, we would go up under there, literally up under those bridges. Where cars go. There's a whole city up under those bridges.
Yeah, they're still there.
We would take blankets, and we would take take blankets and stuff and give the people. And man, and me with my personality, I went out there, I just, loving on them, just talking to them, because I could talk to anybody, president or plumber. It don't make a difference to me. People are people in my world. And so, man, I would ask them, and and they would sometimes read me, because they were like, what happened? God tell me, I used to be, I had a family one day, and I came back home. All of a sudden, my wife and children was gone. Had a nervous breakdown, couldn't recover. I was an attorney. I couldn't take the pressure studying for exam. So someone gave me a little bit of something they said to help me out. Turned out to be crack. Took away my whole legal career. So here I am. I met singers. There are people up there. There are economists, and there are people. Whatever you think you're good at, there's a homeless cat out there that can run you under the table. Whether you think you could sing or whether you think you could do anything.
Oh, I know.
There are homeless people out there that can run you under the table. Whatever gift you think, however good looking you think you is, let me put you on the street about a month or two and see how well you do. And so we would go out there just to talk to these people, and give blankets, and they were so appreciative. But I got far by the biggest thing, and I came out of there, man. First of all, I was thankful to God. Because that'll shut down the complaining real quick. Okay, you go out there and you like, God, but by your grace, there go I. You know what the number one thing they had while they was there, Dynas?
What?
They didn't have income. And for the ones you say, well, why don't you go out and get a job? Can't get a job without your address in the phone. You got to have an address. Y'all didn't know that? So it's plenty of people out there. But someone's saying but someone's holding a sign say we will work for food, they mean that.
Right.
They might use it for drugs and stuff like that. I don't know what the heck I would do if I was out there shivering and freezing. I don't know what drugs I would take. I don't know what I would do. It's easy to make a call when you ain't in the situation. But my point is right this. They were there because of income. They didn't have income.
Right.
They thought they had the job. They thought they had, and then circumstances changed that just derailed them. Divorces, medical situations. They didn't have strong family support system, and all these things. But they was people just as important as I am. Okay, and then it just fits into what we say, Dynas. Like Warren Buffett, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work till you die.
Right.
So man, I'm done. I'm done. Hey, maybe it's a little passionate. Maybe it's not. But what we're talking about, stopping calamity from coming to your house.
Right.
You can't be so naive to think that I'm straight. Oh, I get that a lot, Dynance. I get that. Not a lot. I get that time to time. I'm cool. I'm straight. You don't know what the next day holds. You know, you got to plan for stuff before it really becomes a problem. You got to, you know, and you gotta have contingency plan in case you do have problems. Are you straight? Okay. If something happened, you lost your job. Could you live an extra 2 years without working?
Right.
Do you have enough income in place that your lifestyle won't change? Because sometimes it's taking people about that long to find jobs. Okay. Well, Fitzgerald, you're kind of wrong. Let's just say go mess around and lose a 6-figure job and see how quick it'll take you to get another one. Or $40,000 job or whatever. You know, you can't get the best time to get another job is when you have one.
That was the Centos motto. In order to get a job, you have to have a job.
Yeah. So this is a little different. Once again, that website is goldprice.org. Dynas put the debt calculator up there. And don't see that. What I want you guys, what I want the audience to look at it. Don't look at that as like, man, this is what's happening to the nation. Get the nation out of it. For people who I'm speaking all over the world, whether in London, Trinidad, South Africa, Germany, Italy, we have affiliates, Switzerland, we have affiliates all over the world. See that, don't look at that calculator like, man, this is what's happening to my nation. See this is what's happening to individual households. And so I have got to put something in order to make sure my personal household is going to be protected. That's the way I think. I think self, family, community, nation. I can't help any of those guys if I'm not strong myself. So that's the way you have to start looking at things. For what can I do to get my family in a safe position? Then I can focus on helping someone else. But if I don't have it, if I don't have anything to eat, how am I going to give anybody else something? No, Dynas, thank you for your time.
Yeah. Real quick, Holopaz makes a great point in the chat room. This will be the last question. People are predicting the crash of the dollar forever. As long as the dollar is backed by nuclear weapons, it isn't going to crash anytime soon. What are your thoughts on that statement?
I disagree. Dollar's not backed by nuclear weapons. The dollar backing doesn't come from the military. The dollar's backing because it's the world reserves currency. You got to buy oil in petrodollars. Petrodollars is a U.S. dollar.
Right.
What happens if we lose that status? Say like to a China with the Chinese yuan. Yeah, your military pay your weapons pay your weapons. They get you some creed, but sometimes war is bad for business. It's bad for trade. No, the dollar's value come because it's the world's reserve currency. You know, that's what got Iran toppled over there with Saddam Hussein regime because he wanted to go off the U.S. dollar. Said, well, we can't have that because the dollar buys. The dollar is what people mostly do to buy petrol. But there's a shaking happening right now. Russia's like saying, and China's, we'll put a consortium together where we don't have to use a U.S. stranglehold of dollars. We don't have to do that. We can put our own thing together. That's why you're seeing nations, India, Japan, the UK, China, Russia. That's why you're seeing these guys amassing huge gold reserves. You can type that into Google and find out countries buying gold reserve and just look at the list of them. They are increasing their gold reserve because people already know, well, you know what, we can't keep paying this US. Why should a broke currency determine our economy? That's the primary reason. You know what? And I personally think we're going to lose that status. People, the world is much bigger than the United States. I personally think we're going to lose it. And when we do, it's going to be different. Lose the reserve currency and you're $23 trillion in debt. It's going to be a different. I don't profess to be an economist, sir. I'm not an economist or ma'am. But I do know you can't spend more than you bring in. I do know if you don't pay debts, as the Holy Bible says, the borrower is servant to the lender. I do know if you owe more in assets, you're in bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm.
And I do know that if you owe someone and you can't pay it, they're trying to look at the value of your assets to get you to liquidate where you can pay that debt. That I do know. No. And so that's how that I do know that I can't go on my good looks and my smile when I want to go down to the Publix or Kroger's and ask them for groceries. They'll take the smile and the good looks, but I assure you, before I walk out there, I better be able to pay for it. This is how I think. I think in economics, practically always have, because the man that taught me off of Stanford, he drilled this in my grandfather. You either have the money or you don't. And woe be unto you if you don't. But you got to make that money grow, because it can't just be dependent upon your own efforts. There's going to come a day you're going to get tired of working. There's going to come a day you're just going to get tired of the grind. You still need the money to come in and survive. Just because you're tired, that don't mean the expenses are tired of coming to you. You have monthly expenses or weekly expenses. You need a monthly or weekly income. Man, I'm at my age, in my mid-50s, man, I have done more oil changes, done more do-it-yourself projects, done more healing of myself projects, as far as trying to avoid the doctors and stuff like that. Man, I don't even like doing an oil change anymore. It's just I don't like cutting grass anymore. I used to do all that stuff. I've done all that. Get someone else, because my time is more valuable. And even if I got the time in it, I simply don't want to be bothered. I want to be bothered, I want to be going to the martial arts studio dojo that I go to. I want to be going on the bike trail that I do right now. I want to be helping people build their carrot bars and their wealth business like I can do now. I don't want to spend my time on someone's job 6 and 8 hours a day. I'm sorry. Right. And you're hoping I'll get a 50-cent raise at the end of the quarter. I'm done with that.
6 or 8 hours a week. That's 10 or 12. A day. That's 10 or 12 hours a day.
Man, everybody working now, ass. The husband working, the wife working, the children got a paper route. And that dog that really looked too good and you look real good, we're going to put you in a dog show because you got to hustle and get your food now.
Right.
It's critical out there. And so this is what we say, and take action, because nothing changes not unless you do. It doesn't. And so it's up to you. It's up to you. I know where I have to go. I don't pay your bills. You don't pay mine. I don't pay my dear brother's Diane Samir. He doesn't pay mine. All I know is, I had a calamity and I learned from it. And if I didn't have carrot bars in place right now with what I see going on and what I know going on me personally, financially, and looking at other people, just looking at me, I would be scared. I would be fearful, because when you go out there and try to find jobs at my age, a little thing called age discrimination start kicking in, all kinds of stuff. But I would be fearful if I haven't built a global business like I have. If I didn't have the ability to create wealth like I have done, I would be very, very afraid, because I would literally be looking at like, wow, I'll never be able to retire. 15 years, I'm 70 years old.
All right.
It don't take long. It don't take long at all. And I don't want to be in that position where I'm like, oh, well, government, please take care of me. Please don't put me out my retirement home. Please don't do that. I plan on retiring on a cruise ship. I get up to a certain age, I'm just going to go ahead and stay on ships, go to different ports, and still run my carrot bar hustle, because I'll be able to do it. That's my thing. So what's yours? Dadass? Man, this is the greatest time for opportunities, as far as for people who see it, than the world over, man. And so, man, hey, I'm finished. Man, it's been great talking to everyone. It's always great talking to everyone. I truly enjoy this. I consider this somewhat a ministry. I consider this somewhat my life call. I love to see people win. I love to alleviate, I love to see people happy. I love to see you happy and thriving with your children and family. I love to see you doing what you want to do. Man, that's a major turn on to me. You know, and if I can play a small part and turn someone on, like Michael Delco turned me on to it, because, I mean, that phone call changed my life. And by the way, I signed up for free. And I just got to work, Dinaz, man. And it took me some time to figure out what I had. But I figured out what I had, man. There was 139 people that was in my organization. And that was about close to a year, if I remember. And I called up Michael and I said, man, how this happened? He said, I put him there. Those 139 people have now turned into 9,333 affiliates. I never put a single person on that right side. You have two teams of carrot bars. I don't know if y'all caught what I just said. That 139 people that Michael Delco put in my group, on my right side only, because you got a left and a right side, that has turned into 9,333 business affiliates around the world. Just because I said yes. And I've made money by making that decision. And I'm still making money by making that decision. That's what it did for me. I would have loved to have started a business. I didn't have the capital. I would have loved to have went to join a company like Coca-Cola or UPS. But I didn't get past a personality test or something like that.
Yeah. Oh God.
I didn't get past it. I just, I know how to take them now. I went out and got a book to learn how to take it from Barnes and Noble. But I would have loved to have been in a position like my two youngest brothers that, they're high level corporate executives, both of them. When their retirement, it's going to be sweet. I would have loved to have just put my nose to the ground, play it safe, get my secure check, and just go home and enjoy my retirement. 55 now, should have been retired, but it didn't work out for me like that. I had to become an entrepreneur because of necessity. But the truth be known, since I was a boy, I never wanted to work for no one else.
Right.
It just wasn't in me. I want to be to have control of my own life. I grew up under a grandfather, he was a very, very successful farmer. I grew up under a man who I never seen work a job. We had property. We had our own gas tanks on our property in Alabama on our farm. 25, 30 people could show up at our house. We could feed you. His word was a walking ATM. He would send me down for school clothes. I would go to Larry's down at Barquettes in Ozark, Alabama, and we get suited up with school clothes. I can get anything I wanted. We could go in there and get. He just never gave us no money in our pocket. No, but I'm seeing this man. He wake up about 5 o'clock in the morning, go down to Ayrton, Alabama, go get some food for his livestock, come back and feed them. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, he's sitting on the front porch with a cigar in his hands, smoking. That was his day. And he had friends who did the same thing, and they all had good net worth. None of their family didn't work neither. So maybe that warped something. Maybe that did something to my mindset, because I'm like, man, I want to be like Granddad. He ain't working on no job, and so that never left me. And so this is how I am what I am. But I do know this, Dinaz. Every man and woman want to be free.
True. Every
man and woman want to be free to make their own choices, free to have their life, free to say their time. Everyone craves that. But you know what? You got to go after that, because there's a system out there that's hell-bent, taking your labor and taking your dreams and, taking your work and your life efforts and making them rich, not you and your family.
All right.
That ass have a phenomenal day.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. Really enjoyed it. Everyone, link is in the chat room. Link is on the screen. Link is in the description. Click on the link, sign up as an affiliate. I greatly appreciate it. You will get a phone call from me. I'll get you in contact with Fitzgerald, and we will get you up and running. Also, make sure you go to dynastymirror.com. Go to dynastymirror.com. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Dynasty Mirror, search for Huru. Until next time, peace.